Hey guys. So, this episode popped into my head as I was sitting around, minding my own business, as I do. And I was just listening to, my inner monologue, my inner thoughts, my inner knowings. Actually, it came to me as I was pulling cards this morning and connecting with the energies I needed for the day. It's one of my favorite ways to ground and center every day. And honestly, I don't know how I live without it. I guess it's a way that I learned how I can reflect on my own intuition each day, by honoring the energies that I see first thing and then noticing throughout the day the signs and synchronicities and shit like that I just feel my intuition, my higher self, spirit, the universe, creator, God, whatever you like to say, is trying to get me to be more aware of. And I just feel like it also helps me stay more aware of myself and my life, as it is in each moment. I found it's truly important for me to learn how to reflect in my life instead of just perceive. Hey, it's fucking opened my eyes to many truths. Many truths that, honestly, I don't think I would have seen without the deep reflection. So, think of me what you will, but I am pretty happy with this way of being. Anyway, I was reflecting on the cards in front of me and the images and, the messages and all that fun shit. And I heard this in my inner thoughts, my inner knowing. I heard, your lack of knowing in these situations is not because you're ignorant. Far from it. Your ability to embrace the unknowns is your mind bowing to your heart and trusting what life is. Damn. Right, you guys? Just damn. I literally sat back in my own chair at that point and I was like, damn. I mean, I know, okay? I know there are people out there who probably think us spiritual seekers, energy believers, healers, whatever, as odd. I do. And it's because we choose to live life as intended by our source, our creator, God, the universe, whatever you like to say, right? We choose to live life that way rather than what power-hungry humans intend for our lives to be, right? It's hard, for, I guess, matrix-bound people, for lack of a better term, to see beyond that veil, as they say, because they've become so accustomed to being engrossed in it. It's that whole repetitive wake, eat, work, eat, sleep, eat. Fucking motion that society goes through, I don't know. It's how a lot of society is engrossed in their lives. It's that repetitiveness, yeah? It's funny how gross is smack dab in the middle of that fucking word, isn't it? I don't know. The way I see it, we all choose. We choose to learn or we choose to stay. And it's up to each person to decide what truly matters in their own life. If eat, sleep, wake, work, sleep, eat is fucking what matters, then keep doing it. Congratulations, you found your way. You know what I'm saying? I just, to me, there's more to be said. There's more to be done. There's more to see. I don't know. I just feel when we own that concept, right, that everybody has the right to choose to learn or choose to stay and the right to decide their own matters in their own life. I just think it's a pretty simple way to allow yourself to understand others, even when they choose not to do the same for you. Yeah? Look, I, for one, I'm perfectly fine if you don't understand me. I could give two shits, honestly. Because I think I've said it before, but I felt misunderstood most of my life. I mean, shit, truth be told, through my life, okay, any solid support system outside of myself is not really here. It has not really ever been. Except maybe for, a few bits and pieces when it benefits. So I've come to know that my greatest support comes from me. It has to. And because it does, I know that I will always choose to honor myself and also to honor the ability I have within me to support those who are important to me. I've come to know that the only reason we feel misunderstood is simply because we fear going within and allowing the understanding of our own self, our true self, not that front we show the world, yeah? But, if you want examples of what I'm talking about, I can give you a few that I've acknowledged in my own self and my own life. How I've chosen to heal within myself around them. And I guess how I have allowed my own understanding around situations that could have been a way, I let life hold me back or hold me down. And instead, how I chose, and how we can all choose actually, instead of being held down, to grow and honor our own truths when we are in these types of situations or feelings, okay? Alright, so let's see. What are we talking about? Oh, support system. That's what we were getting into. Oh, alright, okay, I got one. Alright, so right now, if you were to look, even my very best friend, who I have known since we were 12, she doesn't subscribe or listen to any of my podcasts or videos. She doesn't ask about how it's going or anything like that. I never force anything I do on anyone. But that doesn't mean it doesn't sting a little when those I love make no effort towards my life and my choices. I'm still human with a beating heart, okay? And feelings. But when we get together or talk, I know I will always choose to support her in her efforts or her choices or whatever, because what I've learned is that when I know and honor my own passion within my heart, when I really believe and understand in my own self, then I don't care if I'm misunderstood by those who are not ready to fathom something beyond the mundane tasks of the day-to-day. I love my friend. She's like a sister to me. And if you have a sister, okay, you know how deep that love goes. Even if, on the outside, you're very, very different. And I know her way is very linear based. and methodical. And I am the complete opposite of that. And because I understand that love I have with her, and I know that there is no need to base my existence on anyone else's acceptance of my life and my life choices. Because I know those who are truly meant to be in my life accept me as I am, even if they don't always show it the way I expect. After all, my expectations and perceptions are my own, yeah? See, I've learned that as I choose to follow the love within my own self, I guess what I'm saying is that through that love, okay, I found that I can better realize any sense of a false self that I may have created. False self I may have created in the past to help deal, to feel like I fit in or feel like others accept me. And instead, I choose to accept myself for who I truly am. And I simply give myself that love so that I can feel better just being me. No front, no mask, just me. Odd or weird or sweet or sassy or whatever the fuck I am that day. Because that's who I am. And that's how I see my own growth. I grow through my connections, and I see where I can learn, or how others might need to learn. And you guys, I don't hold grudges on them, for they will learn in their own time. If I choose love, then I know that I must understand that, and love those connections as they are. Be with them in the present, because I know that I have to keep learning and loving and letting go, as it's all part of the growth journey. The growth journey that doesn't fucking end, by the way. It doesn't end. Always grow. Always learn. I guess it means really owning up and taking a good hard look at ourselves and the way we choose to move along in our life. Do you choose your own knowing? Or choose to be steered a certain way by others in the emotionally charged areas of those connections? Even recently, right? I tried to reconnect a friendship from a while ago. I thought it was an important connection, so I was willing to try. I found myself being nice and kind and trying to reconnect, but I don't know, after a few days, I was getting the vibe that this person wasn't really interested in that reconnection. They didn't say it outright, but actions speak very loud, don't they? Or lack of action, yeah. And I don't know why. I don't know why. Because at first, it seemed like they did want to reconnect. That they, enjoyed my company as much as I did theirs. Missed the conversations as much as I did. But understood, right? Remember that episode? Be a good one to listen to if you haven't yet after this. I'm just saying. I don't know. I realized that maybe there's something else pressing in their life that I didn't know, and for some reason, they chose to push me away. I wished it was different. I did, but we can't live like that, wishing it was different. And I choose not to feel like I'm missing anything because I am here for what is here for me. Does that make sense? I don't blame for things I can't see, but I don't know. I'll just never understand why grown-ass adults just can't communicate. But a lot don't. And so, in that situation, I had to look at myself. I had to understand what I need and want in my own life. And honestly, I said to myself, Jen, what the fuck? Do you think you really need a friend that treats you like that for no reason? And I knew I didn't. So I stopped putting my effort in because they weren't. So why should I break my ass trying, you know? I've learned that for myself, if I can feel my feelings around someone or something, that's when I can release the hold the feelings have over me. And I can actually connect to the deeper message the feelings are trying to get me to acknowledge. I've learned to look at our feelings and actions around them. It's like water, yeah, flowing down a river, okay? When we lie to others or to ourselves, it dams up. And the water behind all the damn lies, it gets deeper and deeper, right? But truth from the start allows the water to keep flowing. Where lies pile up, truth breaks free. Remember that. I think sometimes we care so much and we want to be there for people. And you know, I always talk about unconditional love. And I do still love that old friend. I do. But honestly, guys, unconditional love doesn't mean unconditional tolerance of crap behavior. I'm just saying. You gotta give unconditional love to yourself, too. And now I see, that this was a lesson I needed to learn in my life, throughout my life, and that's why most of my life, from a young child to a teen to an adult, I have had to navigate this world mostly on my own. To own my emotions around what is happening. And it took me a while to learn. It did. Because I had to release the grips I had on the situations around those emotions, but I learned. And I continue to learn. And I'm grateful every time. Truly I am. Through these learnings I can see now, even when I was connected with others, like my ex, okay? We were together for 12 years. He would leave all things in our life up to me. And look, I know when we talk about our exes, sometimes it can come across or sound like it's sour grapes, but I promise you, it's not. It's not. It's just a way for me to explain my real life situations that help propel me on my growth path. And, this is what I lived through, and it is what it is, right? But yeah, he would leave the things in our life up to me, where we lived, where we would eat, paying off bills, taking the kids to all their things, And yes, he would help sometimes, but only when I asked and when it was absolutely necessary. I guess my life was literally controlled by everything in life that needed controlling, and I absolutely grew to hate it and hate myself because of it. I kept thinking, why be part of a pair when one is always having to control the life that was supposed to be being built together? So now the shoe is on the other foot, and he has to do all that I did in our relationship by himself. And maybe that is his karma. I don't know. I don't. Remember, karma, it isn't good or bad, okay? Karma just is a way of life that comes from the choices we have made. If you make good choices, you get good karma. If you make bad choices, you get bad karma. You know what I mean? It just is. It's on us. And look, like I said, it's on us. And I am not saying I didn't have things to learn too. I absolutely fucking did. Of course I did. I am fucking human, just like him. But I've chosen to learn them. And I have learned them. And to be quite honest, I still find learnings in them because I'm committed to growing myself. I don't know. Like I said, I never claim to be perfect. But I'm telling my stories. And again, these situations, which as they are shared, are meant to be reflective points in their own aspects to the story of each episode so that they feel more relatable because they're actual things that happen to a human being. Huh? Listen. Fact is that perfect relationships don't exist. And we can't take everything so personal. If these relationships, if they matter to us in any way, and we want to move ahead with them, we have to realize that it's going to be up to us to match any baggage we have with any baggage they may have. And heading over to the fucking baggage claim together and going through which ones we're going to keep and which ones we're going to donate. Shit. It's up to each of us, you guys, to make our own choices and write our own stories. You know, maybe my friend has karma to learn how to better support others. Maybe my ex has karma to learn how to better support himself. I don't know. I don't know because it's not on me to know. It's not on me to know what others need or have to learn. And that's why we never try to fix anyone. We can't. We can't. And it's not on us to do so. It's on them. And only they will know what and when they are ready to help themselves with. Look. If someone can't see the writing on the wall, okay, then let them be on their own. Because unless you're fucking Anne Sullivan, pretty sure you never signed up to be a teacher for the blind. You can Google Anne Sullivan if you don't get it. I also did not sign up to be a teacher for that, okay? But for me, right, well, I had karmas around learning, you know, my self-worth and what I was doing to myself by taking control too much. See? There's a hermetic principle that really is eye-opening for us when we are ready to accept it. And it ties in nicely here with what I'm trying to explain to you guys. It's the principle of knowing that all things are a mindset. And so once we fully realize this, we see that it's not the world around us that needs to change. It's us that needs to change. And owning that, you guys, is how we ascend to our higher states. Because owning that truth is our fucking power. It really is. And the thing that hits you as you grow and heal is that through your own intuition, if you're willing to hear it, that you will complete phases in your life. And because of the inner guidance you are tuning into, if you are, when you complete those phases, you'll move forward with the lessons you've learned. If I were pulling cards for you right now, we'd be face to face with the World card. The signifier of a completion, of an ending to what was, with all that doesn't serve released, and letting life guide you to the next phase. Lessons definitely learned. And the World card is also marked on the four corners by the four fixed signs of the zodiac, which means that no matter who you are in this life, you will always have completions to experience. It's part of being human. But the woman on the card is naked. Some say it's the same woman on the star card, the dreams manifest card, and that she fulfills the dreams by being and expressing her vulnerability, and that is what pulls her to the completions in her life in the most positive and profound ways. And And it's represented by a woman on the card because the way we express our vulnerability as humans in this world is through our feminine energy. And we all have it, no matter what our gender is. And she also holds the magician's wands, as above, so below. What I'm saying is through the whole of life, when we use our hearts and intuition to live through the situations as they come to us, we are living our truth. And when we do this, the universe supports us in our successes. That's why endings are always new beginnings. Because when we learn to honor the choices and the karmas they bear, we release and learn our own growth. So the next phase is ripe with possibilities because you have succeeded in creating and cultivating your own inner peace, strength, direction, and truth. It's pretty badass if you fucking think about it. I mean, so often we feel like we have no control in our world, but we always have more control than we think. For example, my story with my ex. If I was listening to my own inner truth, I would have been more honest with him and told him what I needed from him sooner. And he would have acted how he did, and we would have probably parted ways sooner, because we both would have realized that it wasn't a connection that was good for either of our souls. It was a karmic connection that was meant to teach us. And that's why I say I never hate in misunderstandings around love. And life, I guess. Because we are all learning as we go. And if we recognize that, we learn when the time is right, we no longer hold ourselves responsible for what we didn't know or understand ahead of that divine timing. We learn to just allow and note those perceptions and reflect more on their meanings for our own life purposes. Yeah? I don't know. We have to admit that the things happen in our lives mostly because we allow them to. You know, I could tell my friend it hurts a little that she chooses not to support my goals. You know, I mean, facts is facts if we want to look at it as straight facts, okay? I mean, if you can listen to 6 songs on your way home, on your way to work or your way home from work, right? 5 days a week, then surely you can take 20 minutes once a week to listen to your best friend's podcast. Yeah? But it's not something that has to do with me, really. It's her path and her karmas to learn. And I hold no grudge because I believe in my own self and what I choose to do. And I know that will bring connections into my life with others who share my passion. Like you all who are listening now. To me, it's simply not meant for her at this time, and I am okay with that. Because she is important to me. And she is there for me in so many other ways. And I am there for her too. You know? Do you see? For my ex, I allowed that to go on for so long that it became a habit. Can you see how as we grow, we learn that even in situations that we could, dwell and feel like used or abused or disrespected or disregarded, that we only would be feeling that way because we allow those things to be and allow our ego to let us dwell in those feelings where we refuse to take responsibility for the role we played in making them the way they are? That's the world card lesson, you guys. When we stay fixed, like those zodiac signs I mentioned, yeah? When we stay fixed in our lives, even if we crave change, we won't be able to complete that phase or embrace that change because we refuse to acknowledge our role. Success in life, it always comes from putting in the work, and healing our energies, our souls, is no fucking different. And that's why we struggle with it. Because it's, work. And we have become so focused on the outside physical work we do that we have forgotten that when we honor our energy first and heal what doesn't serve our hearts and our souls, then the outside work is much easier and much, much more enjoyable. I'm just saying. in any relationships we have in our lives, right? It's up to us how we view and engage in them. For me, through my own healing, what I like to do is look at relationships like two pillars, okay? When the two pillars are strong, they stand up tall and straight. And they also hold the weight that appears on them. Like two pillars holding up a roof, yeah? They work because the weight is evenly distributed. And each pillar bears equal pressure. When one pillar tilts or falls, the other tries, unsuccessfully, to bear all the weight, and the whole structure collapses. And bearing weight in a relationship isn't just about the combined weight of the two as a pair. It's about owning the weight you carried before you entered into that relationship, too. You can look at it this way. You can't fit into that, new, smaller size, fresh outfit you bought, right? If you're holding on to all the old weight from all that shit you used to like to eat. Same goes for relationships. You feel me? It's not on another to whip you into shape for your best connection. No, it's on you to own your habits and whip your own damn self into shape. Again, we will do it for the physical body with no problem. So why not for our spiritual and energy bodies too? Because truth is, if you can heal those habits energetically first, discover why you have them there in the first place, then that weight naturally falls off. And honey, you look damn good to those who match your new energy. I'm hearing you deserve love. You're lovable, not just fuckable. Well, there you have it. The spirit guides have spoken. Shit. Oh, I love my guides. Seriously, what I'm getting from that is balance. Balance. The balance of the physical and the emotional. The balance of your body and soul. The balance of what two people who really care for each other can bring to the world. Balance the heart and the mind. Be open to balancing the shadow with the light. It's all about balance. All about balance to allow the pillars to stand tall side by side and bear the weight of whatever comes their way. See? And, another key aspect of balance for us as humans is understanding the importance of the divine timing around it all. That's where the fucking reflection comes in. Like the situationship where, my ex and I, we both took 12 years to learn our equal lessons. Don't ever look back in vain and think it time wasted. Because it's only wasted if you continue to go along the path that doesn't serve you. Owning up to our life lessons is how we grow. Balancing those shadows and remaining focused on our light. Loving ourselves enough to know it's okay to make a decision that feels right for us. And not to care if society as a whole misunderstands what we are choosing. Our lives are our own. And we have every right and are given ample opportunities to choose the right path for us. You gotta trust that intuition. The universe is always working in our favor, whether we're ready to see it yet or not. As we heal, we have the hindsight to see that it truly always was showing us our best way. It always had our backs. And that, my friends, is a very beautiful concept to realize in our lives. Because we see that we were never alone and always had the support we thought we needed from the world outside of us. And honestly, it's how we learn that we are the love we seek in all our situations when we choose to be. And knowing when it's time to release our grip, too. Those are called boundaries, my loves. And here's the thing. When we actually speak our truth around our boundaries, around what does and doesn't work for us, or what does or doesn't work with our partnerships with other people, when we do this, we come to terms with our own values once again. That's part of healing. Knowing that those walls you put up are meant to keep people, feelings, or learnings out. But boundaries will teach us to look for where the door is in those walls. And that's why they matter. That's why they fucking matter. And enforcing your values isn't about being an asshole. No, it's about showing yourself the kindness you think someone outside of you should show you. That's self-love, baby. And when you truly mean it, those boundaries of yours will work with you where those walls always worked against you. They will allow those right, good feeling relationships to strengthen, and those that aren't will just melt away. I heard this once, and I think it's an important fact for those of us who truly believe in living from our hearts. Empathy without boundaries is simply self-destruction. To have empathy for others, you must first empathize with yourself and your needs and desires, and not dismiss or disrespect your values just because you care deeply for another. I hope that's crystal fucking clear, because it's damn important. And if I can save one person some major heartaches around this, just from sharing what I've learned, then I'm happy to be here and do just that. Because we gotta remember, we as people, we can only love to our level of self-love. We can only communicate to our own level of self-awareness, and we can only behave to the level of traumas we have chosen to heal within ourselves. And when we see this, and others we care for cannot, that's where our boundaries come into play. Find the door. After all, working on yourself means you stop waiting for others to change. And that is where your power lies. Find the door. And sometimes finding the door means you step back a little and you ask yourself if there is a deeper meaning to something happening, and you reflect on your boundaries at that time. Because as we learn, the boundaries change. And if we never reflect on what we value in life, then sooner or later, our pillars will fall. Always find the door. Even if it means great change, you guys. Find the door. And the way we find the door is by observing the observer. And psst, the observer is you. And shit, you know what I'm friggin' realizing? I mentioned 12-12 earlier. 12-12. Yeah, I did. If you follow my YouTube, which you should, by the way, thank you, you know I study numbers and how they can help connect us to our guidance. I mentioned my best friend and I knowing each other since we were 12. And then I mentioned how my ex and I were together for 12 years. Those were the two examples that popped into my head. Hey, it's fucking coming to me now and I'm running with it, okay? So here you go. Take whatever meaning you get. 12-12. There's a giant bee. 12-12. You have the power to bring healing and light to the world. Notice how your intentions and actions are already doing just that. Well, damn. Thank you. That's all I gotta say. Like I said, observe the observer. And still, there will be those who question what I choose to do. But the signs are clear when you're open and honest with who you are. I know what this message means to me. It's why I'm here. It's why I'm doing what I'm doing. But again, this message is meant for more than just me. Because we all grow together. And especially all of you who are here on this journey with me, listening. So, time for you to reflect now. Connect with your own intuition and ask yourself, what was your personal takeaway from this episode today? Because we are, all of us, really just living with the questions. So, might as well just go forward finding your way, right? Answers will come as they may. So, where's your door? Okay. That's all for now, my friends. Remember, find the fucking door. And I'll talk to you all later. Bye.